Hey, welcome back to the Cambridge Data Science channel on YouTube. Uh, we're going to do a little bit of a little exercise in EDA. Of course, EDA is uh, what is EDA? It is the Exploratory Data Analysis. It is the first, I would say it's the first step in data analytics. Because before you can actually do anything serious today, you first have to go and look at the data, examine the data, put the data into a format which can be used to do the further analysis with, okay? So anyway, we're going to start with the data set. And there's one down here I think we find kind of interesting, supermarket sales. We're looking for online sales. Am I missing something here? Online sales right here, okay? So this is online sales in the U.S. This data set is very similar to other data sets, such as the Superstore data set, similar format, similar column structure, and it's also similar to one called. I would describe this as a analytics data set, meaning it's a single table, which contains all the information we need uh, to uh, to do all of our data analysis with, and all of our reporting functions with. Okay. So we're going to start with a new notebook. Let's just name this EDA, Exploratory Data Analysis. Let's do an initial save. Okay. So we come up here. Let's remove this. Get rid of this. Let's add a couple more libraries. Lubridate. That should be good enough for the time being. Let's come back over here. Let's get our data. So we come up here. Here's our input data. Do this. Click on Cell CSV. And now it opens up our data window. We want to copy this. Come back up here. Now we come over here now. We can close that. Come here. We're going to do, let's just make it easy and call it CSV. We're going to do read underscore CSV. We're using the tidyverse package. Okay, so let's run this. Let's do this. Let's come down here. Let's just do it the simplest thing of all and take a look at the size of our data set. So we'll load this. Okay. Then let's run this. Now it does say there's a few errors. We're going to ignore those for the sake of our friendship. So this contains 286,392 rows and 36 columns. Okay. Let's come down here then. Let's do one more thing. Let's do glimpse. Is that right? Am I spelling that right? Let's try. Does that's not work? Okay, so we're looking for a glimpse here, but we don't see it. So let's just do the old-fashioned summary. So just as a reminder, there's two basic data types we look at, or maybe three. But the main two are numeric and categorical, also called factors, and sometimes even called dimensions. Okay, as you'll see, these are things like well, status. Status has a status has a limited number of values that's allowed in the column. Okay, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, male, female, uh, sales, return, and so forth, canceled. Uh, then you got numeric. Then you got now these here are also categorical, I would say, because the item ID is limited by the number of products. Okay, SKU is clearly a categorical variable. Quantity, price, value, discount amounts. Category is clearly a categorical variable. It's going to be limited to the number of product categories. Payment type's kind of interesting. I'm not sure because even payment type could be a categorical variable. Okay, customer ID. And now you can see here we got all the customer information here we need. Okay, uh, customer sense, phone number, place, county, city, state, zip, region, username, and so forth. So what you can do up here, just do probably the quickest of the type of data analysis is just do a quick factor. Okay, so we're going to say we can do that one. What else do we got? We can do category, and you'll see very quickly why this is it's an okay method to. You'll very quickly understand why this is one very quick method of. Category. What else do we want to do something here? Payment method. We could do payment method. Things like value, payment method. Uh, Gender. Uh, Age is interesting. We'll take that about in a minute. Customer sense. Even things like state and city could be a categorical variable. We can get a quick idea of what our customer base is made of, or our customer. Let's do. Let's do region also. Now, region is kind of curious because what it does is it uses capitals. Now, we could do state also, okay? Now, is there a subcategory function? And you'll see, and you can see what this is actually. It's actually one way to do some really quick uh, data analysis. Okay, let's make sure we got all these spelled correct. Okay, good. So let's just take a look at these numbers, see what happens here. What is it called? Sex? Is it sex with a capital S? Let's do this. So now we got a count of the various status types. Okay, uh, so we've had more cancels. Okay, than anything else, which is sort of curious. You get the range of order dates. Order number is actually a categorical variable also. Quantity order price. Let's look down here. Category. Now we get a count by the categories. The biggest category appears to be mobiles and tablets, mobile phones and tablets. Okay, and interesting enough, men's fashion seems to be uh, highest is higher than women's fashion, which is kind of odd. Payment methods. COD. COD is kind of strange because you really don't hear, because it used to be collect on delivery. You would pay for the product and the service when it was given to you, when it's delivered. I didn't know it's even still available anymore. Okay, but uh, easy pay, pay access, and so forth. The various payment types. Okay, what else we got down here? Gender. Oh, it's gender. Okay, let's come back up here. Change this to it is a capital. Let's do this one more time. So we've actually got some really good information here so far. Okay, even though it's very simple, it's quite. So you can see we do have more female. Well, no, we actually have more male customers than females, which is again it was a kind of curious. What about counties? What about state? We get a count of states here. Okay, and regions. Number of sales by regions. Oh, these are total transactions by regions. Okay, so this is going to include sales, cancels, refunds, and all this thing in it. But nonetheless, uh, the South is we have most of our customers appear to be in the South. Okay, uh, discount range from minimum of 0 up to 75%. That's pretty high. Okay, so we've already learned quite a bit about the data so far. But obviously, what we want to look at the visible part of the data. Okay, we want to do some very quick data visualizations here, right? And there's a couple of ways we can actually do this. Okay, we could say let's start with regions, and that's a pretty quick. We could say uh, X equals. Let's start back up the top. What do we want to do first? Let's do a quick report on status, okay? All right. But let's do one other thing first. Let's come in here. Let's pipe that to a range. Well, we can't actually do that, can we? I'm sure there's a way to do that, but I just don't know what it is off the top of my head, to be perfectly honest. So we're going to do a very quick plot here. My status. Let's see what we got here now. Oh, what's the problem here? We got to have an AES. An unexpected. Is it something here? Oh, you know what it is? That. Now that's one way to do this, but as you'll see, there's no real order to it. But again, you can still see that we got all these numbers here that are what would happen if it came up here? Can we do an arrange inside of here? Well, let's start with something. No, it didn't like that. X is missing. That's right. No, this is okay, but I've never figured out a way how to actually uh, sort the columns. Okay. Now there is another way which does take care of that. So let's come over here. Let's do cells. Pipe it to a ggplot. Let's pipe it to. Let's pipe it to a count. Okay. And say. Now this is one way also to get a very quick count of your numbers. Now you can see the numbers here. Okay. Pending PayPal. So that's one way to do it. Uh, but this sort function doesn't actually carry over into the plot function itself. But what this does, this creates two columns. This creates the status, then it creates an end value. So we're going to sort on status. We're going to do a reorder on status and end. Okay. Order end. Let's see if this works. I may not have the code quite right. We do. Okay, good. So now we got to sort. But let's do one more thing over here. Let's do, for sake of neatness, let's drop this down here. Put a comma out here. Let's do, let's see how this looks. Now we got a coordinate flip. Okay. You can still see canceled is still the largest number of things, followed by completed orders. Okay. Let's do this then. Now we can use this same. Now we come up here and also do a. See how this works. Yeah. So what happens is when you do a coordinate flip, that the original coordinates still stay the same. Okay. Then we can do y. All right. Okay. Now we can come up here, take this same basic code here, and continue with our EDA. All right. Back up here. We've got status. Now we can just do one by category. Now, what we're actually counting, of course, is we're counting all the rows. So if we were serious, we may say, we only want to see the orders. Okay, we only want to see the field type. Let's see how this looks then. Okay, so now we get a count by category. Now again, what's kind of curious is men's fashion is greater than women's fashion. I'm not sure what that says about this country, but uh, what else can we do here? What other categorical variables do we have up here? Okay, let's do a count by payment method. Let's call this transactions by payment method. And this is going to be payment method, right? Let's see how this looks. Okay, so this is about a 30-minute video. And that's what I want to try to keep the videos shorter because I just don't think people are interested in long-winded videos. But already you saw how to use factors to create quick summary functions. Now we didn't do all the categories. We can still continue down to here to gender, region, and state. Maybe it'll come in the next day or two. So I'm going to call this first video. I'm going to call this uh, Kaggle EDA introduction. So this is a very quick introduction to categorical variables in R. And of course, if you want to, if you're really ambitious, you can actually, come over to, go and actually find my account on GitHub and actually look at the code. All right. You can also go out here and you can also download the code. Okay, you can download the code, or you can download the data and import it into your favorite data analytic tool, whether it's SQL, whether it's Python, whatever you like to use. Uh, That's up to you. Okay, but this again. This is very basic EDA, but very useful EDA. Okay, one question you might ask is this: I'm thinking about what is the breakdown in terms of age for our customers? Okay, that's an interesting question. But anyway, this concludes the introduction to EDA on the online sales data set from Kaggle. So I'll see you next day or two as we continue to explore this data set more and more. Okay. Thanks so much for your time, folks. We'll see you later on.